Hi friends, it's Danielle here. I'm here today to do a craft with me video with you guys while I'm working on these men's Father's Day themed junk journals. I have 5 of them. I showed a preview in the last video. And today I'm just making clusters of different kinds. I started making some for the journals and realized I didn't make enough, so I figured I would turn my camera on while I make some and bring you guys along with me. So I have these circular type clusters I want to make some more of, and some of these that you can see, these little fabric clusters, and there are, if I can see what I did with them, some little paper clusters. And if we have any time, I also pulled these little index cards to alter if we have any time, but I'm not sure if we will. And so let's go ahead and get started. I want to start with these little fabric clusters. These in the center are little, I had found a few years ago a bag of these little I think they're golf markers. I'm not a golfer, so I'm not, exactly sure, but I'm pretty confident that these mark your spot when you're golfing, and they're vintage. So I thought that at some point I'll find a use for these, and so I feel like I did. I'm going to use these throughout these journals as if wherever I would have used like a felt button or a little flower or even a regular button. So what I did is I took the little stick part and some wire cutters from a jewelry making kit, and I just plucked that off as close as I could. And then I was thinking of going to the garage and using the Dremel on this, but it's a very little bump and it's pretty soft plastic, so I just took a nail file, like a really coarse nail file, and just filed it down, and that flattens it plenty enough. So I did a bunch of those. You guys don't have to watch me do that while we make our clusters. And I also grabbed a little pile of scraps and tried to cut them into smaller pieces so I can be a little more efficient with the video process. I'm going to use a glue gun for this, and basically I'm just going to grab a few of my squares that I cut and start layering them. I always say I'm not going to overthink this part, and then I somehow start overthinking it. And then let's see what options. Let's just use this one. So I'm just going to put a little dollop of glue here. Under each layer and on the top, and then I'm just going to push down so that all the layers kind of merge together, but the ends stay up so it's not completely glued flat. And then we have our first little cluster, and I'll do one more with you guys, and then I'll kind of bring one of the journals out, and we can talk about how I'm planning to use these in the journal. I hope you guys are all doing well. We are doing well, my family. My oldest just finished kindergarten, so she's all done with kindergarten now. And she's out for the summer. She's going to do an art camp next week, but other than that, she'll be my little buddy all summer. I'm trying to enjoy it because We don't get that many summers as moms. But it's definitely been an adjustment. I don't know if you guys, I can zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better. My 2-year-old, it's actually opposite. My 2-year-old is perfectly happy for 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes. If you give her an activity, she will stay entertained and be good for about 20-30 minutes. You can get a few loads of laundry folded or something like that, but the 6-year-old just doesn't seem to want to play by herself. So we're learning that this summer, for just a few minutes at least. Okay, so there's another little cluster, and I'll zoom back out, and I'll grab one of the journals, and we can, it's basically, oops, one of those got stuck to that. It's basically wherever I would normally use a cluster in my journals, but I think it would be fun. I think this one is a little bit more done, so let's look here. So my first kind of thought would be, I just came to this one, and maybe not this one, but to dress up, this is a vintage playing card, and it's got really cute, you know, perfectly fitting kind of lines, decorative lines, but it could use something else. So I thought even just putting one of these little flowers on, well, they're not flowers, they're not supposed to be flowers, but clusters, a little cluster on here would just kind of dress that up. So that was one place I was planning to use. And then definitely as tag toppers, that's what I'm looking for now, is a tag. So I could kind of, this tag's not done. It hasn't been, there's no paper on the back, and it hasn't been stitched around, but after I did that, I could come on here and place this as a little tag topper. If I wanted more contrast, just using different, trying out different ones, gives you a different kind of look. So that's another idea. Where else do I, oh, the most basic. So I could use these, I probably will, on some of the pages just as a little tab, just to give the page a little something, some decoration, but gives you the whole page to do your own creating on. Again, whichever one you choose looks a little bit different, but they're all kind of similar. So that's one little type of cluster I wanted to share with you guys. I'll continue to make some more of those. Excuse me. And then let's do the circles next. So like I said, I had made, if I can find it, like some of these for the journals. I haven't stitched around them or anything like that, but these are pretty basic, and I'm going to basically use them as little tuck spots here on the pages, but I needed more. So again, I figured I'd turn my camera on and we could do it together, because you guys had mentioned in the comments on other videos when I've asked about it that you would enjoy craft with me. So I'm going to do these a little bit different than the other ones I had done. I was kind of playing around with ideas, and so I punched out, I have this, if I could find it, I don't know what I did with it. It's basically a punch, paper punch that punches circles, these large circles out. So I did that and just cut some rectangles, so we were ready. And then I have some fabric triangles and some rickrack that we're gonna play with. And I have these little printables. So a lot of these advertisements, I can leave the link, or not the shop name where I purchased these on Etsy. They are vintage advertisement and office supply printables, and they're really cool. And I took them, printed them, fussy cut a lot of them, and stuck them in, a lot of them in this envelope with some other things as well. And like there's a pen. So that kind of gave me like a mail vibe. These are, this one would be too large for this, but they're like motor oil, and this one's for typewriter ribbon. So that's kind of the theme of these journals. A lot of advertisement. This one looks like a rusted gas sign. Because it can be challenging to think of fun things to do in kind of masculine journals. I think these might originally be for train setups or doll houses or something like that. I'm not really sure. This one's really neat. It looks rusted. Anyway, so I went through these and I pulled some that I thought would be a good ratio. Like this one's probably too big. This one I already pulled, and this one as well. I went through these little pieces and tried to pick some out so we could get started and be kind of efficient with this. And yeah, I thought maybe I might use one of these. I'm not sure yet. I have to kind of just see. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna kind of lay these out. This is ideally how, I don't always work like this, but this is how I should work, is lay multiples out and just kind of layer all at the same time. And it's okay that there's similar, because I have 5 different journals, so I just won't use the same one in, like the same 2 in one journal. Okay, so now take my little pieces here. I think I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit more and kind of go through them and decide which ones I like where. So I like this one. This part always takes me the longest, and it's hard when you're on camera to efficiently think, even after I planned all of that stuff out. I'll just kind of lay some down, and then I can always change it. I like this size. That looks kind of small. And this here, I could use this here. I just don't like the off-white and the white together, just to kind of explain my thought process a little bit. But this looks okay. So then, that's still a little bit white, but not too bad. I like that one. Okay, I think I like that one. I might change it, but let's assume that's what I like. So then I have these all lined up, and I just realized I have them all right justified here. Let's change that. Okay, so now that I've got this, so then I want to use some of these fabric triangles, and trying not to overthink think it as much as I can. Just gonna kind of lay these down here. And then this one here. This is the one that I was not sure I was in love with. So let's see what it looks like when we get all of the pieces. Okay, I can deal with that. And then I was gonna put some of this rickrack here. See what that looks like. Of course, knowing that I have to glue this down so it doesn't have to stay perfect. And then let's glue this down and then I'll decide if I want to. I was thinking I could put one of these like here. But let me glue these down and see what I think after I glue them. So I'm going to use this Barely Art glue. And I am going to stitch through these. So since I'm going to stitch through them, I just need them to stay in place. Until I do so. Okay, so now that I've gotten that done, let's see, do I think I wouldn't add it until I stitch through it, but I'm trying trying to see if I think I might add one of these. Kind of add something different, and that is a spot where I would use a little button, so I might, but I'll make the final decision after I stitch through that. So we're just gonna come along here and glue these down. And we'll do the rickrack here. And then I think I'll glue the other ones off camera so you guys don't have to watch me glue them. Trying to be as efficient as possible. Let's see, where are my scissors? Okay, so these I will do them as we laid out, and I will glue those off camera, and I'll stitch all of them, and then we can just kind of see what these would look like. In the journal. So if I were to put this one here, this is very distracting to me because I don't like the back cover, but I haven't put paper over that or stitched around it. So here, you know, I don't know if I would put it here, but basically a tuck spot, so that just to give some extra decoration and fun, do it on the top or the bottom, and it'll be wonderful. So moving on from that, we have one more little cluster I was going to do, and that would be these type of clusters. So these I just layered some different things that I have. I took some of these little milk ticket things, like the tops. I took that as a base, and then I used some little fancy scissors, although some like this. I think I used, oh, I see them. I actually ended up using these and cut some scrapbook paper with a border, and then used a postage stamp and a little saving stamp, and just stitched down. Here I used one of these game pieces. I really like these for the mail theme journals. They're bear market or bull market, although all these are bear market. Oh no, here's a bull market. And I just kind of collaged over the actual writing part and stitched. I forgot to increase my stitch length here, so it's a really short stitch, but that's okay. And then here I just took some of this really thin wrapping paper and collaged, again, another little piece of scrapbook paper, some stamps. This is a vintage transport ticket and a little saving stamp here, and then stitched through it. And then these can be used just as little decor pieces. So if I have, like here, if I wanted to put this here, it just adds a little bit of interest to the page. Like anywhere you'd put a sticker or a little stamp. Kind of like that. I could also use these on a tag. Let me see. Like if I didn't have this here, I could come and use one of these here and then stitch around it. This isn't a perfect example because it would cover up a lot, but just ideas of how I'm planning to use these little clusters. And then this one I did using my little tiny attacher. If you can tell, it's kind of across two of them right there. I prefer the stitching look, but I wanted to try it out and for you guys to know also, like if you don't have a sewing machine or feel comfortable using it, you can use a stapler or just glue. So let's make a few of these and then I think we'll wrap it up for today. I have these little pieces cut, scrapbook paper pieces. Again, it just takes a little bit of fussing around. So if it seems like I'm kind of quiet on this video, but it's really hard to kind of think on the fly. But I kind of like that. It's a lot of layering and it's busy, but the point is just to give blank pages a little tiny bit of interest. So I think I've accomplished that with this. Whoops. Now I don't remember how I had that. I think it was like this. So that was pretty quick. I just have to stitch along it, and I think I'm going to trim this a little bit shorter so it's a little more proportional, and I'll be done with that one. Okay, let's see if we can do something like I did with this one. And this one time I can increase, excuse me, the stitch length. Let me get some more options here. This is a really cool stamp. Look at that stamp. I think it was, 8 cent stamp, but it's really cool shape. And I'll use one of these. I'll kind of mirror what I did here. Although I think I need a bigger piece of scrapbook paper. and then I can stitch across here. So I'm happy with that. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little better. Okay, so we have that one done, this one, and let's see, what can we just do with this little piece? Take some of this just for another layer. This is some wrapping tissue paper, or thin kind of packing paper maybe. Whoops. This is cute, this little saving stamp with the guy on it. Let's see what he looks like. That'll work. I just don't like how this is protruding out. Probably a glue stick would be easier for this, but this glue is what I grabbed when I started the video, so that's what we're stuck with. But I'll probably switch to a glue stick after I turn the camera off and I keep working. And so there's another little cluster. So we've made 3. I think I might be boring you guys now. So again, kind of just show you our little work after it's stitched. Just add a little embellishment. This could be used as a tab because it's on a game piece. It's a little bit thicker material. Have used up all the tabs in that one. Oh. This one doesn't have any embellishing yet, so I could put it up here at the top of a page for a tab, any page really. And it just gives some visual interest and color with lots of fun little vintage pieces. So I hope this video was fun and you guys are inspired to make some clusters for your journals, whatever projects you're working on. I'd love for you to tell me what projects you're working on in the comments, and kind of see what we're all up to. Also, if you have any suggestions for videos you want me to show, I'm always open to that. I've gotten a few in the last few days, so I wanted to share that I'm open to any requests for videos, and I really appreciate all of you guys subscribing and commenting and liking my videos. It really means a lot to me. I don't know, some days I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have my crafting time, and to share it with you guys just makes it extra special. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.